Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, man? Welcome back to another episode of the show. Um, so I'm watching, the NFL every Sunday. Glad that the NFL is back. It's like a saving grace of the of 2020 with all the COVID and all that. Even though they have issues in the NFL, some guys gotta miss games, and Tennessee even postponed a game or two, a couple weeks in a row. But you know, glad the NFL is back. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump right into it, man. So so for the last couple of years, I've been watching, doing the fantasy thing. I don't really do the fantasy. I do like on a couple sites, do pick lineups every week or whatever. Little gambler. Um, and I've been noticing that Dalvin Cook, man, when he plays, he's just like his impact on the game is just something else. And but he's been injured the last couple of years, and even this year he missed a game or two, or like a game and a half maybe. But again, his impact is ridiculous on the game, and he's actually leading the league in rushing right now over Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry missed, like I said, Tennessee had a couple games uh, pushed back due to COVID. Well, really just one right now, I think, and I think they made that up. But no, actually they did. They made that up. So right now, Dalvin Cook evenly, with him missing a game and a half due to injury, is leading the league in rushing. And but like I said, it's his impact on the games and how he's doing it. Because the game that he missed, he made up for that. And the first game that he did play, he had 4 touchdowns, and then a week ago, he went for over 200 yards rushing. So, you know, I just feel like his impact is on the game is just like, because he's not the biggest dude, but he's slippery in the hole because he runs between the tackles. He's slippery in the hole, and when he gets a crease, you can hang it up. You can just about hang up running him down from anything under maybe 60 yards. He just has that type of speed where from 60 yards on in, by the time you notice that he made two or three guys miss and turned it on, hit his speed burst, it's almost impossible to catch him, you know? And I just like, I don't know, man, it's just amazing to see it. And then in turn, another running back that had such a crazy impact like that, Ezekiel Elliott, now is almost the opposite. His negative impact on Dallas Cowboy games is almost um as, you know what, is probably just as big or bigger as Dalvin Cook's positive impact on Minnesota games, because all the fumbles, uh the drop passes, the missed blocking assignments, missed blitz assignments, blitz pickups. Ezekiel Elliott is not impacting the Cowboys in a positive way this year. You know, uh, last year you could see that he's not the 4-4 guy anymore. We saw that last year, but he was still productive, and his production went down every year since he's been in the league. Ezekiel Elliott is the type of guy, type of running back. He's taking a lot of hits. He's not dodging contact, sideline. He's not running out of bounds. Ezekiel Elliott wants all the smoke every single play, and That's his mentality. That's something that's born in him. That's not, no one taught him that. That's just him. He feels like he can outman the linebacker and pretty much any DB. You can't stop him from getting 2, 3, or 4 yards after contact. He's going forward. He's not going back. But the last, I'll say like 10, 12 games going back to last year, it seems like Tony Pollard got more juice in his legs and more energy than Ezekiel Elliott. And I don't know that he deserves like 50% of the carries, but he definitely deserves more touches, meaning receiving in the receiving game and things of that nature. So I would just look to get Tony Pollard more touches if I was the Cowboys. And you save Zeke that way. You add a couple year or two onto his career. Hopefully, you would like to see him play a few more years healthy and without the fumbling problems, because he was on a pretty good pace to do some good things in the history books. But now with all the fumbling issues and things of that nature, and he's slowing down, he's looking a little out of shape, and you know the body language over there in Dallas not too not too promising, not too upbeat. Because jumping into another topic of discussion, I forget there was a Philadelphia Eagles player. He said Amari Cooper's body language looks horrible, and I was saying that same thing to my son last week when they played Pittsburgh. Amari Cooper is just like, he don't even look like he want to be there. He looked like he'll give him back the $20 million a year that they're paying him. You know what I'm saying? He's not even like, he's not into it at all. Amari Cooper's not into it at all. And I mean, for $20 million, his production is way down. His leadership, he's never really was a leader anyway, because he's a quiet type of guy. But and it seemed like Dak and I don't even know who the quarterback, Garrett Gilbert, is developing more of a relationship with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup than Amari Cooper. So I don't even know if Dallas should even hold on to him. I might be leaning towards, should Dallas release him, because he's not producing, they're not winning. Body language is terrible. And you remember last year, it was a couple games down the stretch, Jason Garrett had him on the sideline. They played against the Patriots. He had one or no catches, so, and he's the number one receiver, making $20 million a year. So that's a question. Should the Cowboys part ways with him? That might be the next move. Might be the next move for Jerry Jones. CeeDee Lamb is definitely on pace to be a number one receiver in the league already in the first year. He understands, when he got a matchup, he can find the open spot in his own and all that good stuff. So CeeDee Lamb probably going forward would be your number one receiver. Or Michael Gallup. I mean, either one of those guys are real good, And I think they had Tavon Austin on the roster also, but he was hurt. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, and I could be missing one, but I believe there was another guy over there from Green Bay. But they like I said, their receiving core is deep. Their defense woke up and played really well against Pittsburgh. Some of those big money guys started to make their presence felt, and they had a DB, Diggs. He played really good. He ended up breaking his foot. So, it's like one of those bad luck years for the Cowboys, but it's kind of too like the same old Cowboys because they can never really fully get it together. They can never really, really fully just get it together, put together a good season, you know, make the playoffs, go deep, anything like that. If they do make the playoffs the last 8 or 9 years, so it's a one and done. So I don't know. And then obviously with that going down, all the hopes all the air probably went out of the balloon. But they was losing anyway, so I don't know. I feel like they got away from Ezekiel Elliott because you may be losing a step, but that's when you just incorporate more Tony Pollard, use a two-back set, pass a little more, draft a little better, things like that. I don't know. People. Now we move on to the lone undefeated team in the NFL. Yes. Pittsburgh Steelers. Still the nation. Here we go. So in that Cowboy game, Ben took a vicious hit. He got sandwiched between two guys. And when I saw it, I was like, oh man, that's a head injury. Wasn't a head injury. He got up pointing at his knee. So, and then he right after that, on that very drive, he went 4 for 4, threw a touchdown pass, and went immediately to the locker room. The Steelers ended up getting the ball back, but he was in the locker room getting worked on, looked at, or whatever case may be. And so he missed that drive, and they probably missed out on points, but they still ended up putting it together, winning the game. Ben took them down, won the game. Tough game against the Cowboys. But the issue is now, because everybody was thinking about when the first loss could possibly come, and everybody's saying, it may be Baltimore in 3 weeks. But now when you look at it, it could be Joe Burrow in Cincinnati this week because Ben's not been practicing. I think he was on a COVID list too because he had came in contact with somebody. But I'm thinking that was all taken care of. He got the 2 negative tests, and he was all good. But I believe he's not practicing this week, but he is expected to play, which could be a disaster. It could be a disaster because Mason Rudolph got in the game, and the first pass was almost a pick six. The second pass was almost a pick six. He just floats everything, no velocity. And I thought he played really well last year, but it's like he just forgot how to play football after the whole ordeal with Myles Garrett. But he looked horrible. I don't even understand how he wasn't on a separate flight going home after that game, after those 2 minutes that he played, a minute and 40 seconds or whatever he played. That was all any Pittsburgh fan needed to see. That was all anybody needed to see of him, enough to get him out of there. But could Cincinnati be the Steelers' first loss of the season? Because every time somebody's 6, 7, 8-0, everybody gets to talking about the undefeated Dolphins and all that. So Steelers 8-0, 9-0, whatever, and so now everybody's talking about undefeated season and when the possible losses could come. And everybody's saying Baltimore is the the check mark. So, but I'm not saying Baltimore. I'm saying don't fall victim. Don't fall victim to Cincinnati because Cincinnati could possibly do it because Joe Burrow is on a path to greatness. we got to give Joe Burrow his props. He's on a path to greatness. He got all the tools. He got a lot of skill, and he can make all the throws in crunch time with the pressure on. He made one. I forget the game. Cincinnati. L.A. Chargers, I believe. He hit them. He hit them with a game winner. And then it was one game he threw a touchdown to AJ Green at the end, but they called him out of bounds. No, they called him for a push-off, actually. I think that was the Charger game. So Joe Burrow is not afraid of the spotlight, not afraid of the pressure. He can hang. So and they run the ball pretty good. And you know, Joe Burrow's not into the he don't got the he's not afraid of the Steelers curse. Oh, we can't beat the Steelers. We win the division and they beat us here and they beat us there and things of that nature. Joe Burrow's not into that. He don't have that hanging over his head, you know. So I just feel like he could possibly go out there and get it done, you know, because in this class of 2019 quarterback, he is him, Justin Herbert. I don't want to say Tua right now because, you know, Tua just said, I was watching an interview with him, and he said, you know, hopefully he can get back to his normal self. So I don't know that he even feels like he's his normal self right now. But Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert is performing at extremely high levels, you know? And I just feel like it's just one of those trip-up games where Joe Burrow would end up being the guy that take down the undefeated because the Steelers, they always have some type of silly mishap, man. You know, it's like a silly mishap. So, you know, with that being said, let's keep our fingers crossed, Steelers fans like me. And hopefully Ben will look all right, look decent, and we can get that win and keep the ball rolling, keep the undefeated season talks going. Now let's slide over to the Washington football team. Washington football team. This week they have. Let me check their schedule because that NFC East is like. This week they have the Detroit Lions, and that's not the story. The story is Alex Smith is going to be making his first start since 2018. You know, a couple weeks ago he got his first game action. Now he's making his first start, and he got to play a full game with Dwayne Haskins as the backup. But Alex Smith got to play a full game on a surgically repaired leg that almost was amputated, then almost cost him his life due to the infections and all that things. He had about 8 or 9 surgeries and probably more. But that right there, I think, is a big thing for the weekend. You know, that's huge. And now, you know, so Wednesday, got the NBA draft coming up. Season will resume on December 22nd. I don't know if it was like, I think they was voting to see, you know, if a couple, you know, if they wanted to start it up that soon, because that makes the off season real short. I mean, and I don't know if they're gonna go into the bubble or not. I don't know if they're gonna go into the bubble or not. Yes. I don't know if they're gonna do the whole bubble thing or not. But the draft will be Wednesday, and the season will start on December 22nd. Now the question is, Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. So the question is, who's going to be the number one pick? The number one pick. I say the number one pick in the draft would be, boom, LaMelo Ball. I'm not going to get into the rest of the picks because, we could be here forever and the possibilities, because I believe it'd be out of him and Wiseman. But and since Minnesota has the first pick, that's the reason why I don't think it will be Wiseman, because obviously they got Karl-Anthony Towns, and they could play together. But I don't think Minnesota would do that. I don't think Minnesota would do that. I think now you can put Russell off the ball now, and LaMelo Ball, because LaMelo Ball really don't mind. Like he's a pass first type of guy, even though you see the highlights when he's scoring all those points. But he's a pass first kid, and he's 6'7", so he'll rebound and get the break going. So if the rebound's coming to him, everybody just take off. The ball will be up the court before you get up the court. So I mean, I feel like he's an exciting player, and he can score it. He can score it. He's been hitting big shots since he was a young kid. But 6'7", 190, man. So I mean, what can you? I mean, it ain't a lot. Ain't a lot to think about, really. And then Golden State. Now he could possibly fall, because if he doesn't go first, I don't think Golden State would take him. At number 2, I don't think Golden State would take him. So, that's a possibility in itself right there. So I don't know. All things considered, I do believe LaMelo Ball will be the number one pick. We haven't heard a lot from his dad like a few years back when Lonzo was there. We haven't heard a lot from his dad, so I don't know that mistake will be made again. I don't know that mistake will be made again. Because he put a lot of pressure on Lonzo, and then the guys was attacking Lonzo straight from the beginning, and it had nothing to do with Lonzo, all his dad, but guys was attacking him, grown men, So I don't know that he would want to go that route again. I don't know that he would want to go that route again. Getting into it like that, and because even though I think LaMelo is better than Lonzo, honestly, I think LaMelo is better than Lonzo. I just feel like just stay out of the way and let them do their thing, let them be what they're gonna be, But I do feel like LaMelo will be the number one pick in the draft. So stay tuned for that Wednesday, 7:30 on ESPN, I believe. LaMelo going number one. And we'll finish it off with the Thursday night game. Thursday night game coming tonight. And I believe tonight is Indy. I had it right here. I haven't been on. I've been crazy busy, man. School and everything else. But Indy and Tennessee tonight. Indy and Tennessee. Tennessee had that good old Steelers hangover, man. They ended up losing to Cincinnati last week. So I don't know that they'll lose 3 in a row. I don't know that they'll lose 3 in a row. It's just not. No. They ended up winning last week. They won. They won. I'm thinking about the week before. I'm thinking about the week before. Sorry. Yeah, they won. I don't. So with that being said, take that back. But with that being said, I think tonight they'll stay on track. You know, but I do think it's gonna be tough because Indianapolis got a real good defense. They got a real good defense, and if 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 you could get Derrick Henry out of the game for the first half, and Phillip Rivers can throw the ball to his team, I feel like they can make something happen. But if you let Derrick Henry get going early, you can hang it up. You can hang it up if you let Derrick Henry get going early. Um, he's just a monster. He's a monster, and then he gets going. Then Brown and those other guys can get fed in the play action game. And Ryan Tannehill just found a home over here. He found a home. Because in Miami his career was looking like a bust and over down in Miami. You know, and when he came here, he had tools. He had a system that fit him, and he had a coach that understands. You know, just because he's a high pick, all the things he did in college, he's just not gonna come out here and just gunning. There's a system, and there's a way to do things to make a guy successful. And I believe that over in Tennessee, he found his niche. He got paid. He found his niche, uh, and he won some playoff games. Man, he beat the Patriots in the playoffs. Lost to the eventual world champions. So that's not a fluke. He lost to the team that won it all. So, and not blown out, not blown out, and had the game in hand. So they fixed a couple things and tightened up a couple things on defense. They could have very well been in the Super Bowl. So you could have seen Ryan Tannehill from the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl. Hey, I don't know, man. But listen, everybody, man, take care. Be safe. Keep the family safe. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Share the video. Drop comments below. Who's the number one pick? Who's your number one pick? Let me know. LaMelo, Wiseman, Anthony Edwards. Let me know. Is it one of the guys from overseas? LaMelo Ball is from overseas, but technically he's a United States product. So let me know who's your number one pick, guys. All right, man. Everybody be good.